Hello everyone, Mountainspyder here, and let's jump into another Pokemon TCG game. So, going to continue my challenge today. As you saw yesterday, unfortunately, ended up ending the day on 4 out of 5 knockouts for my Psychic Pokemon, and I really want to end up getting that done. So, I want to jump into another versus battle today with the Battle Minds deck once again. I do really enjoy playing this deck. It is quite a effective deck for grinding through the versus challenge, as because it has such a strong draw mechanic, you're able to quite often get your win cons out there. I'm actually not sure what deck this is. Oh, it's a Leafeon deck? I don't think I've played this one before. Huh, this is going to be quite interesting. I don't remember playing this deck before. The Psy Crusher. Oh. So everyone says when you're playing online you have better luck. Or at least when you're streaming your videos. And I know this is a YouTube recording, but apparently my recordings have absolutely no luck. Because I don't think I've ever had a Meowth in my opening hand. Okay. Well, let's see if I get lucky again and come back from a really bad hand like the last video. Which, if you didn't get a chance to watch, I'd highly suggest watching, as it was quite interesting to see what you can do from a really bad start. Yeah, I haven't played this deck before. I'm quite interested to see what actually comes out of it. Yeah, so I'm hoping I can actually get some draw mechanics going, because I don't have any good draws in my hand. And whilst I'm sitting with an Incineroar and a Switch, which is something I really want to see. Let's go for the Looker and see what comes out of it. Okay, at least I've got draw mechanics coming out. So, down the line hopefully. And for the first time ever, I think Grass Fire, although I'll never get a chance to use it, would have actually done something against this deck. Because Grass Fire allows you to discard a grass energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. And unfortunately my opponent opened up with a Grimer, but so long as I put a grass energy down, I might actually be able to finally use this. Yeah, got a little Trico. And got a Beldon. Calculate. Look at the top 4 cards of your deck and put them back on top of your deck in any order. That's quite decent. Signs of evolution. Oh, don't tell me I'm poisoned. What? To point of hits which one of your opponent's bench Pokemon with the defending Pokemon, the new Pokemon is now poisoned. Well, that's quite strong. Haha. But I have Switch. And I have a Salazzle. Unfortunately, this is not going to KO the Grimer, so I'm really hoping that I'll be able to that they'll fail the Lure Poison, because I don't really want to have to use my second Switch this early on in the game. But I can't afford to have Turtonator down. It's a really useless Pokemon in this deck. Like, it has come up every now and again where I actually have won the game with it a few times, but getting it off reliably is such a pain. And because it has such a high retreat cost, it's not even a Pokemon that you can open up with reliably, because you can't get it out once it's down. That was a perfect draw. I've now got to listen, which is exactly what I needed. I don't really want to charge up any of these Pokemon. Let me go for the Roast Reveal. Let me see what I get. Hopefully drawing it's like a Mewtwo or something. It's not great. Again, Lily, I can get 0 value out of it. I guess let's load up the listen for now, because I don't have anything better to do. Let's go into Combustion. So as I said, the biggest issue I have with this deck, I know I keep griping about it, but Lily just doesn't work in this deck. Literally, unless you get it in your opening hand, it does virtually nothing for you. Now, I didn't actually take a look at Espeon. Silo, draw cards until you have 6 cards in your hand. That's quite cool. Shadow Ball, there we go. This attack does 40 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. Also apply weakness and resistance for bench Pokemon. That's quite interesting. So deals 20 damage to Salazzle and then... Oh no, I was being siloed at the same time. Okay, so Shadow Ball could have actually put some damage on Listen, which I'm fairly certain they really wish they did right now. Okay, let's get Torracat starting to evolve. And let's get another Fire Energy on. And I think let's go for a roast reveal. I wouldn't mind drawing into a Mewtwo, simply because I really want to complete my challenge. I'm going against other psychic Pokemon. Oh, there we go, that's convenient. Now this is Lazor. Going against other psychic Pokemon, it's always great having a Mewtwo down. As long as you've got the momentum. You don't want to be playing Mewtwo in someone who has momentum. As in, you don't want to bring your Mewtwo out and then it's your opponent's turn to attack with Psychic Pokemon. Or you don't really want your opponent to be swapping in a Psychic Pokemon whilst your Mewtwo's down, because then most likely your Mewtwo's going to drop, as long as your opponent's actually prepared for it. So bringing in your Mewtwo at the right timing is important, going up against another Psychic player. But yeah, so I'm not a big fan of the EV decks. I actually got the Fairy one, with Sylveon, the name actually escapes me right now. And as much as I love playing the deck, it's very weak because it doesn't have draws. This one does seem to be quite a lot stronger because you've got a draw mechanic coming out, which you need. I find it very difficult to play basically any Pokemon deck that doesn't have a draw mechanic. It doesn't have some way of finding your Pokemon. Because to me, it doesn't matter that you've got all the answers in your deck. If you can't get those answers out, they're worthless. Okay, come on, where's this Mewtwo? Okay. Anyway, that's not too bad. Got all the Psychic Energy in the world, but no Mewtwo. I can actually put one Psychic Energy onto the Incineroar. And yeah, let's just carry on going with the Combustion. Luckily, my Pokemon's bench isn't fantastically strong. They do have a Metang down, and I know they are running Metagross in the deck. I saw from the mulligan, so I could be in trouble here. I think they can't charge all the way up to Psy-Punch, but Psy-Bolt, if they get the Paralyze off, it could be rather frustrating, because I can't even retreat from it. And I do have a switch, which I prefer not to use in this scenario, not just yet. I'd rather save the switch when I'm really in trouble. And the nice thing was that my opponent didn't actually put another energy down, so I'm not terribly worried about a side punch coming up next turn. And the nice thing was I got another Incineroar. Now because of that, because I drew into the Incineroar, I might actually swap out here, just to keep the momentum going. I don't want to be sitting on the back foot with this deck. I want to keep the pressure on. I'm ahead on prize cards. I want to keep that way. I want to keep the pressure up on my opponent. And as it stands right now, he's bringing out his last bench Pokemon. Of course, I don't know what they have in their hand, but I want to keep the pressure on. I want to keep them forcing plays. And there's the game. Closed up. They had no bench Pokemon, and there's the yield. So like I said, EV decks, they are aesthetically great, and they're a lot of fun to play with. But I find they don't really hold up to the current decks that are coming out. Ooh, I've got a booster from the box. So those boxes you can get some fantastic stuff. As you saw there, I got a booster from this one. And I think in the last season, or 2 seasons ago, I actually ended up getting about 200 Pokepoints from it. Oh, that wasn't from the box. What was that from? What was that booster from? I don't know what that booster was from, actually. Wasn't really paying enough attention. I thought it was from the box. Anyway, what I was saying with regards to the EV decks is that if you go down to the decks, basically the decks you want to be playing with if you want to grind the ladder as quickly as possible is these most recent 6 decks. Basically, your first page tend to be the stronger decks for climbing the ladder. Obviously, you can still win with these decks. And you can certainly win with the starting decks. If you complete your trainer challenge, where's it now? You go to your trainer challenge with these basic decks, and you end up getting your 7 wins. You can actually get quite a few wins with just this hidden decks, or with Born of Fire, or with Crushing Current. Because when you start out on your ladder, there is, like I said last time, an internal matchmaking system. So you will go up against people with more or less the same rank as you. That being said, to gain an advantage, I would suggest picking up one of these first 16 decks, because they are the easiest to win with. I end up picking up, where is the Sylveon deck? Simply because I actually wanted to build a fairy deck, but I find I'm enjoying playing with the theme decks a lot more in the theme challenge. Oh my word, where is it? Was it this? Oh, there it is. I end up picking up the Enchanted Echo deck. And whilst it's a lot of fun to play with, and I do enjoy playing it, it's not nearly as strong. The damage output of this deck is a lot lower than your decks higher up. And I find the issue with this Enchanted Echo is it takes a lot longer to really get your engine going compared to the more recent decks. Now, I am sitting on over 500 Poke Points, so I can pick up a new deck. So what I'd like you to do is drop a comment down below if there's a deck that you want to see in action. If there's a deck you're considering buying, you're not sure if it's worth it, let me know, and we can then try out that deck on the stream and see if it is a deck for you, and we can have some fun playing it and see what it's like playing through the deck. Preferably, I would pick up one of these 6 that I don't have, so one of these 5. I actually think I have this deck. Torrential Cannon. I actually do have Torrential Cannon. So one of these 4 decks would be my preference, but that being said, it could be quite a nice challenge playing with one of these older decks. So if you want to see a specific deck played, let me know, comment down below, and let's see what happens. So I did get one of those boxes, and I did end up getting a booster. So why not open those up live? So let's hop over to the packs. Also, for those new players, this actually took me quite a while to find out how to open these. You end up going to the second tab, your collection, and you click on collection, and you move across to the packs tab. That is where you can find any boosters or any of these chests that you want to open up. Let's open up with the chest, because sometimes you can have quite nice things in here. And, okay, 5 Poke Points is not great, and an average Helios. Flip a coin of heads, your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed. Okay, it's a fairly decent Helios, but I'm not the biggest fan. I'm not the biggest fan of electric Pokemon across the board. Okay, let's see. Sun and Moon team up. What do I get? Parasorosk, Weedle. I really want to make a bug deck. Zoroark. What are these? Buff padding. If Pokemon this card is attached to, it has a retreat cost of exactly 4, it gets 4 HP. That's just too situational to ever actually do anything. That's quite cool. Random Spark. This attack does the damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. And Voltage. It's a terrible Pokemon. Kabuto. I love Gen 1. Okay, and a Ninetales. 9 Temptations. Once during your turn before you attack, you may discard 2 energy cards from your hand. If you do so, switch one of your opponent's banished Pokemon with their active Pokemon. That can be very situationally nice, especially considering the Flametails dealing 90 damage, that you can then just swap out for one of your opponent's much weaker bench Pokemon. Now let's see, do I have any challenges? Oh, I didn't complete it, I forgot, I didn't get Mewtwo out. Okay, let's try this one more time, and hopefully we can get Mewtwo out this time. So, jumping into Battle Mines, win streak of 4. So, I'm getting quite a lot more energy, so I'm ranking up this quite quickly. Yeah, the longer you can preserve your streak, the easier you're going to find it to be to get more points. I don't know what they actually call points for energy. To get more energy, let's call it energy, along the ladder for each of the seasons. So obviously do try and get as high a win streak as possible. It'll help you get as much value out of the ladder as you can. This Relentless deck is quite strong from the Charizard. We saw it yesterday. Legends is not a bad start. I do prefer opening with Meowth, and I'm yet to open with Meowth on the channel. I swear, you do get it. There are Meowths in this deck, but just apparently you will never see them. Okay, my opponent doesn't have any benched Pokemon just yet, but considering he's running a Farfetch'd with Collect, next turn he'll probably have. Okay, let's see. Good draw, good draw. Bottom or top? Bottom or top? Or bottom or top? Let's go for the bottom. Let's see how lucky I get. Not lucky at all. Okay, let's go for Caturday. Okay, let's hopefully get some good draws. That's not a great draw. Okay, and I'm still asleep. That is not improving. So like I said, with this deck, whenever you get a chance, you want to get those draw mechanics out. Sitting with 2 more draw cards in my hand. Next turn at least I can evolve the Salandit into a Salazzle, which will help quite a bit. This should get my opponent a basic Pokemon. Or a Charizard. Does he have Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard in his hand now? But he went straight for the Charizard? Or is he I think he's just hoping to draw into them. Oh, that is bad. That is very bad. Okay, hopefully I can actually draw into a switch right now. Actually no, a switch doesn't even help me because I don't have energy. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, I do have a roast reveal. Let's get this going. I've got a fisherman, so I don't mind chucking away as much fire energy as I need to. That's a welder. That's going to be fantastic for next turn, where I can actually swap these out. Hopefully I wake up though. There we go. Okay, so next turn, most likely going to be going into the Salazzle. It's not going to O-hit KO the Farfetch'd, and does look like he's going to be going into a Charmeleon next turn. I need to get this going as quickly as possible. Hopefully I can draw into... There you go, there's Meowth. Again, that cat today is fantastic. Draw 2 cards and Meowth is now asleep. I am more than happy paying that cost. Any day. Okay, let's load up the Salazzle. I might hold on to Welder just for the moment. See what draws I get out. Again, I'm getting terrible draws. Roast Reveal, let's go for it. Let's get something better. Looking for a Mewtwo, or I'm looking for an Incineroar. Okay, got the Incineroar, now I just need the Torracat. Let's get the Dermaton down. Dermaka down. And yeah, let's get going. I am very worried about that Charizard. If my opponent's able to get... Actually, my opponent will be able to get it off. There's no way for me to get... As long as he's got... Yeah. As long as he has Charmeleon, there's no way for me to stop it. Because it's going to take me one more turn to get through Farfetch'd. And then the Charizard is coming in next turn. So I do need to get this Darmanitan up and running as quickly as possible. Oh, wrong one. Okay, again, I want to hold off on Welder just for the moment. Because I don't think there's value... How many cards do I have? Okay, I'm actually going to go for the Roast Reveal. So I can get Fisherman off this turn to make sure I have enough fire energy for subsequent turns. And there's the Torracat. That is exactly what I wanted to see. Next turn I can go into the Incineroar, and the Welder on Darmanitan will be able to take out Charizard. So let's get the Fisherman out to get my fire energies back. 1, 2, 3, and 4. My hand is now looking very good. And there's nothing else I need to do. I may as well evolve the other one just while I'm on it, just in case I end up drawing the second Incineroar. Let's get the energy down. I do want to Welder the Darmanitan next turn, so I'd rather start loading up the Torracat as like the slow build up. Okay, so I'm ahead of prize cards for the moment. I'm not very enthusiastic knowing that there's a Charizard about to hit me in the face and knock out Salazzle. The nice thing is that because, yes, he has the Roaring Resolve, he will go down to 130 HP, and with Darmanitan's Flare Blitz, with the boost from Incineroar's Cheer, I will be able to hit him, knock him out if he goes for the Roaring Resolve next turn. Because I presume with Continuous Blaze Ball, he's most likely going to go down. He'll have to go down yes, you'll have to go down both energies to knock out my Salazzle this turn. Which means that next turn, if he's going to be a threat, he'll have to then use his Pokemon power, which will then knock him out. So I'm in a fairly decent position if I can get the momentum going. The issue with this blazing deck, what's it actually called again? Relentless something. The issue with this deck is that it can get very powerful very quickly because it runs a lot of mechanics to get evolved Pokemon out very quickly. And that is always a big concern. Oh look, 2 Incineroars. Oh no, I should be... This shiny one? Oh no, it's not a shiny one. Okay, that is fantastic, and best case scenario, I can play a Mewtwo with Welder, which is exactly what I want to be seeing. Welder is one of the best draw mechanics in this deck, simply because you're able to put down 2 energies with it, on top of the one you can play every turn, and on top of that, you're still getting a draw out of it, which is absolutely fantastic. So, let's go for the Flare Blitz, going up to 140 damage. Charizard has 10 HP left. He will knock himself out if he goes to the Blazing Resolve, which is perfect world scenario. Unfortunately, for me to actually do anything, I'm going to have to use the Welder onto Darmanitan one more time. And like I said last turn, this deck throws out evolutions like there's no tomorrow. So I thought, does Psyshock go through? Oh, I didn't realize Psyshock actually went through agility. That is very good to know. Because I was, in the previous video I saw that my opponent used a Rapidash on there when they were down to one prize card left. And they got the heads off on agility, which would have prevented all damage. And I wasn't entirely sure why Psyshock dealt damage to them. And now it makes sense. I didn't actually read it carefully. I thought it only prevented the damage resistance from a Pokemon being resistant to an attack. I didn't realize. Oh, I drew into another Welder. I didn't realize that it actually stopped. It made sure that you always got damage off on your opponents. Okay, let's go for the Flare Blitz. The nice thing is my opponent would not be expecting another Welder. So if he does go back into another warring Pokemon, as if he goes into the Nidoqueen, I will be okay. I'm going to be seeing a second Charizard. I am up one prize card, so I'm sitting pretty at the moment. Got one more Welder down. I would really love for that Welder to draw into my second Mewtwo to bring the Welder back on top of my deck, so I can keep Darmanitan going. Darmanitan can be... Darmanitan, sorry, not Darmanitan. Darmanitan can be absolutely fantastic if you can get him rolling. Flare Blitz is difficult because it discards your energy. But that being said, because of his ability, because of Welder, you can just keep that going. Now, unfortunately, I need to be dealing 130 damage next turn, which I can't do. Wanting Mewtwo be the better play, or Incineroar be the better play? I think Mewtwo does less later on. So I think I'd rather bring Mewtwo in this turn. Let's load up one Fire Energy onto Mewtwo. Let's get Huey off this turn. Okay, not a fantastic draw. Yeah, let's just go for the Psyshock. Undiscounted. I was thinking of the damage from the Incineroar. He's going to be able to get off his Pokemon power. Oh, that was a big mistake. So, you'll most likely go for his Pokemon power and knock out my Mewtwo, which means I'm going to have to bring in the weaker Incineroar first to take out the Charizard, and then bring in my stronger Incineroar as my final backup. That was a bad calculation on my side. I really hate going up against Copycat with this deck. One nice thing though is my opponent is only down to 9 cards. So as far as I know, they don't run Cynthia. I don't know if they actually run any card that allows them to reshuffle their hand into the deck. They're down to 7, so he's got 7 more turns to go, as long as he doesn't actually use any more draw mechanics. Can't remember if they're running anything that puts cards back into their deck. She's gonna overhit KO me anyway. Okay, let's get Welder off. This might be a bit of a worrying game. Let me get this landed down to, unless you can run into another Slazzle. I do have also 9 cards left, which is not the best case scenario, but I have Cynthia just in case we do get that low. Okay, Flamethrower will knock him out. I can match him with prize cards. Again, I prefer being up. Okay, there's the Litten. So I can go Litten into Torracat. Torracat's not fantastic, not exactly what I want to be sitting in. The nice thing is this is not going to knock me out unless he has a Professor Kokoi. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Oh, okay, he does run Brock, so I can shuffle 6 cards back in. so it can keep it going. So most likely this game's not going to come down to him drawing out, unfortunately. Which is something I was hoping for. Oh, I forgot you could do that. Wait, I thought you could discard only up to 2. You can discard as many as he wants. That's unfortunate. So this Incineroar is going to be going down this turn. That's unfortunate. The nice thing is his backline doesn't actually have any energy on it. Okay, this is going to be a bit of a tight one. Let's get Litten down, just let's get the evolution out. Let's get the fire energy on Incineroar. And let's get Fisherman out to get my fire energy back. I don't actually want any more Thor mechanics out as I'm down to 8. And I don't want to risk using Cynthia drawing a hand that doesn't have energy in it. That's my biggest concern right now, is because Incineroar's Flamethrower requires you to discard energy. I don't want to be sitting in the case where I don't have an energy left. There is a Mewtwo somewhere, but I don't think there's a way to actually power him up. Because Mewtwo without Incineroar's Cheer, he's average. And as it stands right now, there aren't really supporter cards that I desperately need. Okay, there is going to be another Charizard coming down the line. It's just whether I can actually hold out with this Incineroar long enough. Because we're both down to 2 prize cards. This is really going to come down to the wire. So, this is an exciting game. I am really rather tired of having fire. Like, a lot of the top decks I'm running up against at the moment is fire. It's either this Battle Mines with... Luckily these days with 2 new decks that have come out, you're seeing it a bit less. Because I literally ran into Battle Mines mirror matches, I think basically every second game. Now at least it's now seeing different decks, but again I don't like seeing like the same elements against each other. Okay, there's my other Mewtwo. This really is playing him just to get another delayed, like basically another draw. Because I don't actually want to be drawing any cards at the moment. So long I can draw up, because I'm only down to 8 cards left. I know my opponent's down to 8 as well, but the difference is that he can put a lot more cards back in his deck. I don't want to have to rely on running Cynthia. Okay. Got nothing I want to do there. Can I evolve Torracat? Yes. Let's evolve Torracat this turn. Okay, let's see if we can keep this going. Flamethrower. Okay, I'm down to 1 prize card. So long as the Incineroar does not get knocked out in the next turn. Which I... he can knock me out. The Charizard will be able to load up on 2 fire energy. I need that burn to not go off. I should put Welder back on. I didn't actually realize I was still burned. I think this is game. Yeah, this is game. That's unfortunate. I really should have gone for the Welder. Yeah, that's game. Oh well, that's unfortunate. It's gonna be my win streak, but such is life. I don't think I have a Welder in my deck. I've drawn out 2 already. Ah, that's unfortunate. Dropping it right at the end. But it happens. So I presume my opponent must have 2 energy left. Left in their deck. Or even at least 1 energy left in the deck. Yep, there you go. Oh well, that's our first loss of the deck. It happens. Oh, that's unfortunate. But there you go. I hope you see another 2 games with the Battle Mines. Again, Haven't completed my challenge yet. That is still going. Let's actually have one more. There's enough time for one more game. Hopefully it'll be a bit of a quicker one, and let's actually really try and aim to get the Mewtwo out. So like I said, please do, if you're looking at getting one of the decks and you want to see how it plays first, let me know in the comments down below. I can actually purchase the deck and we can play through it together and see if it is any good. Okay. Hopefully this time I can get a bit of a better opening hand and not start playing from behind. There we go. We're finally going to be seeing a Meowth in the opening active Pokemon. And is this a reshuffle? No, it's not a reshuffle. I don't really want to play Mewtwo because I really want to be putting this back on. So let's see what happens. Well, that's a bit of a scary Pokemon. Ooh. I think this is just gonna O-hit KO me. Do I want this card back, or do I rather get more value out of it? I don't think I want that card back, it's fine. Let me play my Mewtwo. And let's go for Lily. Because right now, I really need to get this deck going quickly. Because the issue with this Thundurus is that as long as Tornadus is on the deck, this Thundurus Gale is going to be doing 70 damage. Now, unfortunately, if I don't draw a Fire Energy next turn, I am in serious trouble. Let's get Cassidy off. Again, Cassidy. Perfect opening active Pokemon. And there's my Welder, which is something I really needed to see, because Meowth is definitely going down this turn. And while Mewtwo is not going to... Ooh, actually, I've lost this game. This is going to be very difficult to play from. So the reason I say I've lost this game is because as long as my opponent has one more energy, he can use Raging Thunder, which then also does 40 damage to one of his bench Pokemon. So what? The issue is that it's dealing 120 damage, which is going to knock out my Mewtwo, which is something I really don't want to be seeing this early on in the game. So I was hoping to actually complete the challenge this game, but we might have to wait, and I might do it just off screen so that it'll be finally done. Let's go for the Roast Reveal, because this deck, I really need to get my deck going as quickly as possible. Listen, I'm going to be okay with at least next turn I can evolve into Torracat. Yeah, let's get Psyshock going, getting off as much damage as possible. Hope it doesn't have enough energy. Okay, that's Mewtwo down. I might just have to sacrifice Duramaka. I need to get 2 energy down on Salazzle, and yeah, it wasn't worth hoping for the hoping for another Welder to come out. Okay, let's get Roast Reveal going. Get as much Fire Energy going into my graveyard as possible so I can get Fisherman's actual value out. Again, not a great draw. Okay. Apparently I don't get any luck when I'm making the YouTube videos. Okay. Let's see what my opponent goes into. He'll most likely just go for the Thunderous Gale. It won't knock out Domaka, but at least he won't be taking damage for no reason. Okay. That's not bad. Might just go for the evolution. I'm still going to switch to bring in the Salazzle. Reason being is that I don't want to give away any prize cards for my opponent. I'd rather go for the switch here. The switch will knock out, sorry, the Salazzle will be able to knock out the Thundurus by using Combustion. Let's go for the Roast Reveal to keep the momentum going for my draws. And let's see, that's not terrible, but not great. I don't want to take a bench space with another Domaka, and there's nothing else I can do, so let's go in for the Combustion. Okay. On the plus side, my opponent doesn't have any... Oh. Okay then. I was about to say my opponent doesn't have any energy on their bench, but I don't think the situation was that dire. Anyway, I think let's call it there. I like ending the game off on a win, And I think I'm going to complete my challenge off screen just so that it's done and we can start the next video fresh. So please do let me know down below in the comments what deck you want to be playing with. I do have the Pokepoints to be buying any of the decks. So if there's one you want to see, if you want to see one of the older ones, we can go for an old deck challenge. If you want to see one of the newer decks before you purchase it, one of these new three, well, these new two, let me know which one you want to see and see which one you prefer playing with. Again, really, thanks for watching, guys and girls. I hope that these videos did help. I hope they're a little bit informative, and I hope you enjoyed watching them. If you did enjoy watching them, please do consider liking and subscribing. It really does help my channel grow. And yeah, I hope to see you again with my next video. Cheers, everyone. Enjoy.